All right, first one here for Nate. What are a few things you'd like to see people working with high school athletes do better to prepare them for collegiate level strength training?
One of the biggest things I saw when I was coaching, just teach kids how to work hard. A lot of people complain, kids are lazy and this and that. Well, whose fault is that? Who's their mentor? Who's teaching? Who's their coach? Like, you got kids on your team. You can't sit around and complain about them. You have to do something about it. So to help the kid out the most, I think if they know what actual hard work is, when they come into a college setting, that's going to help them the most. If you know where they're going to college, if you can kind of get a jump start on techniques that they use at that college, that would probably help. To a point, because even in that situation, there's going to be differences between what the college coach has and how the high school coach perceives that program. To go back to the work thing, I used to work with the swimmers, and the one kid on the team was kind of from the country and grew up on a farm and woke up at 4 a.m. every day and had to do chores before he went to school. And he's like, all my teammates complain about how hard these workouts are. He's like, stuff's easy. He's like, it's easy going to practice. You know what I mean? So, like, just if kids kind of understand what hard work is, I think when you first get college freshmen, teaching them what hard work is and how to train, both with like your intensity, quote unquote, not percentage of max, but like just train hard. Those are like your biggest things. If they can kind of get that, they'll be ahead of most people, I think.
I would agree with that. I think it's best taught by example, but
yeah,
you're handcuffed, if it's a high school, because you got to hope you have that one kid, that can show that example. Then it helps if that one kid is actually talented and has skills, because a lot of times it's not true though. You have the kid that busts their ass but doesn't have the maturity, hasn't grown up yet, physically hasn't gone through puberty, and has a super strong work ethic, but it's just getting his ass kicked all over the place. And so then kind of sends the wrong message. But I do find it funny that, and I've said this a long time, that all the people that are complaining about, how lazy everybody is, they're your kids, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look in the mirror, because this work ethic thing that you're talking about should have been ingrained, a long time ago. I mean, they can be lazy. All kids, this. All kids are going to be lazy given the opportunity. Yeah. Especially
most people.
yeah, most people. You know what I'm saying? But all you need is that one to step up. Then once that one steps up, you got to have 4 or 5 others that are going to want to step up with them. If those 4 or 5 others aren't the ones that are going to step up with them, that comes back down to the parents' fault. And just to make sure the coaches don't misunderstand, taking them all out and throwing them on a field, making them do 40-40s is not going to make them mentally tougher.
Right. That's not what. What I was talking about.
That's not going to work. You got to find a way to build that trust to where they're going to want to work for you. How did you do that when you were coaching?
Well, you said lead by example, and when you said that, I don't know if this is just my perception because I was in a better mood or whatever, but as my training went, it seemed like almost everyone's training went. You know what I mean? So, like, you should train. If you're a coach, you should train. And then, like, we had a decent group of a decent sized group of kids that worked pretty hard. So it actually, like you said, the one kid stepped up and then others started to follow. That's pretty much how it went. If there was kids that were kind of lagging behind, I think a good idea is maybe spend a little more time with them. You almost like walk them through it and teach them. Like, you might have to if you have interns, have the intern just train the shit out of the kid, but then afterward bring them in your office and explain to them, hey, that was pretty hard today, right? Okay, so when you come in here, that's basically how it's going to go. And then once you start doing that on a consistent basis, you'll start winning more. You'll start doing better, and then you can use your indicator kids, I call them, the kids that work hard. You can use them for an example. Like, dude, look at him over there. He trains like that every day. That's why he's an All-American. He didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't just happen. It's kind of like you have to walk them through the process, like doing Navy SEAL drills and log lifts and all this strongman training or whatever, just kicking the shit out of people doesn't work.
No. I think you'll find out quickly, and just with consulting with coaches over the years, it's been the same story over and over again. There's a handful, not a lot, but there's a handful that are going to bust their ass no matter what you say or do. It's just in their DNA. They're going to bust their ass because they want to be the best they can possibly be, and nothing's going to take them off that track.
Yeah.
You really don't even need to worry about them. You know what? They're going to take care of their own. But the other ones, you know, they're the ones that you got to figure out how to use that freight train to manipulate and motivate the other ones, you know, that the freight train's carrying, right? And then the caboose, you probably got to spend more time with. I guess that's why there's always somebody on there fucking waving, because there's always somebody on the caboose, you know, saying you're doing a good job, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're not really in last, you're still part of the train, keep going. You know, so having that positive element to keep the, you know, the lower end, because you never know. In college you kind of know, but in high school, you never know. That lower end sometimes, man, from 1 year to the next grows 8 inches and puts on 65 pounds. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, maybe I should have taught this fucking kid how to catch.
Right. Exactly.
But I didn't. We just put him on the bench and had him serve water to everybody.
Right.
Now he's Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, now he's the tallest fucker on the field. And he's fast and he's strong, but he can't catch for shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
or in a weight room example, you know, the kid sprouted up 8 inches, but we didn't think he was a hard worker, so we kind of pushed him off in the corner when we could have put 20 pounds of muscle on him at the same time. But now he's tall and lanky and uncoordinated because...
God, maybe more than 20. I mean,
yeah.
And it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they grow that like that. At 50 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Colonel Sanders did it, and look what the fuck he did. Right. So,
no, Donnie's bootstrapping the hell out of it, and he's. But here's the thing: everything he's come up with has been helpful. And it's been helpful to the majority of people, right? So.